Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. You are here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. And if you are not aware, there's a free ship in the store tab. It is a Commonwealth destroyer called the Vampire Tier 2 Premium Ship. Now, a couple caveats. This match is on Polar. We're down tier. Every match in a Tier 2 at this point is going to be down tier. So you have to temper your expectations for performance. Played about 3 matches in this thing. The other caveat is that there's a new commander in the game. However, it is a base commander for the Commonwealth. Presumably at some point we'll have tech tree ships released for the Commonwealth. But I wouldn't advance him up too high, and I wouldn't expect great things because he is not a destroyer commander. We are going to look at the ship in the port and the commander in the port after the game. Here you can see got some targets over here. I'm shooting these at this cruiser. I think it's an Italian cruiser. Gisano. We're going to shoot it at the Gisano. Torpedoes have a 4 kilometer or 6 kilometer range, 6 km. They don't do a ton of damage, but they're not as bad as some other torpedoes at this tier. For example, the French Tier 2 Ensign Gabolde recently nerfed. Its torpedoes used to do 18,400 damage. Now they do 7,333, I think. These torpedoes have a max damage of 10,000. So even though it's only one triple tube launcher, you can launch them sequentially. They do have a higher damage potential. And so we aimed at the cruiser. We end up hitting the Kaiser with all 3 torpedoes. So I am going to shoot my guns at the Kaiser. Now remember, this is essentially a British destroyer, so in my opinion, at least for this ship, you might want to spec into the guns. Generally pretty accurate at range. Anyways, somebody else kill pinches the Kaiser after we did all the work. Looks like the Gisano just damage conned, or we're not doing the fire damage to him. Hit him again. We will launch 1 torpedo, although I think he's going to turn past that. Got another battleship over here, as well as a destroyer. Now these are both Tier 3 ships. In theory, a Clash Horn should be able to take out a Tier 2 destroyer pretty easily. Note, we did get another torpedo strike on that cruiser, and this is a Wyoming Tier 3 battleship. So we're going up against 2 Tier 3 ships at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a couple of torpedoes towards the Clash Horn, and then I'm going to engage my guns. And this, to me, is Exhibit A of why this is a gunboat. You got 4 guns, you only have 3 torpedoes. You'll see in the stat screen in the port that your guns have a much higher rating. Anyway, the Clash Horn can't hang, has a long reload. We've got not half, but we've got a reload of about 5 seconds with this build. We were able to burn down the Clash Horn while not taking a ton of damage. We were also getting shot at by the Wyoming secondaries, I'm presuming. So we are going to smoke up and go into our smoke screen, and we're going to start shooting at the Wyoming. Oh, pardon me. All right. Something to keep in mind if you're not familiar with Royal Navy destroyer traits. They generally have a pretty low fire chance. We did boost that in row 1 of our commander. So we've got a 6.5% fire chance. Didn't have all the resources available to level up the commander to where I wanted him to be. And while we're talking about that, I just want to mention I wouldn't level up a base commander more than 14-2 unless he's got a great base trait that you are going to use on multiple ships. For example, like Nikolai von Essen out of the Russian tree. Maybe you're going to use his AP pen angles on multiple ships. So you could put him up a bit higher. And I say that at least until you get all the commanders you would regularly use up to 16. Alright, continuing to gunboat the Wyoming here. As you can see, we're not having a lot of luck setting them on fire. Accuracy leaves a little bit to be desired. Just talking about how I thought they were accurate guns. Well, maybe they are not. So we're going to turn and shoot all our torpedoes right in the same area. And we're going to continue to shoot at the Wyoming. And hopefully this cruiser does not stop in the way of my torpedoes, because I would be very disappointed about that. We're going to keep firing. We're just hoping to set the Wyoming on fire. We do set him on fire. The Wyoming takes out the cruiser. We're going to engage our smoke screen for our safety, and we're going to watch these torpedoes move in and take out the Wyoming for our second kill. So we killed 2 Tier 3 ships in this match. I think I'm pretty happy about that. And I also think we came close to finishing off the Gisano, but I was engaging with these ships at that time, so I couldn't pay attention to him. Alright, I think the carrier's going to get killed here. So basically, we did what we could do. And the Vampire is a fun ship. I think it'll be a lot more fun when we get a dedicated gunboat commander or dedicated destroyer commanders for the Commonwealth. If and when that'll ever happen, who knows. You know, I don't forecast what wargaming's going to do. Anyway, here on the victory screen, 50,484 total damage, 98 main battery hits, 5 torpedo strikes, shot down a couple of airplanes, set 4 fires, got 4 floods, and 2 big kills. 84,336 total damage, 2337 ship XP and commander XP in the Vampire. And there we are at the top of the board again. This isn't an amazing match, but because you're always going to be down tier generally in a tier 2 ship, that is unless you don't get a full match. Katori had a pretty good game as well. 2 tier 2 ships carrying the day down tier in this match. Alright, here in the port, upgrades, just one. We went with Propulsion Mod 1. Loadout. You've got 6 charges of that short duration English smoke and 2 charges of the engine boost. We were running the common battle booster for speed. Got this Type 9 permanent camo. And the Anzac Day 22 flag. 9,710 hit points with our build. As you can see, the guns are the big focus. 4 102mm guns, 8.9 kilometer firing range, 5-second reload, 18-second turn time. HE shells 1,500 damage, 6.5% fire chance. AP shells 1,700 damage. Moving on to the torpedoes. 1 triple tube launcher. They can be launched sequentially. Reload every 72 seconds. That's not great at this tier. Max damage, as mentioned, 10,000. Detectability, 1,100 meters. And their range is 6 kilometers. AA defense, you do have a little bit of AA. Kind of shocked we shot down some airplanes there, so better than nothing, I guess. 36.3 knots, 520 meter turning circle, 2.5 second rudder shift time. And concealment, 4.7 on the surface, 2.7 from the air, 2 kilometers when firing in smoke. I do have a max concealment inspiration. Alright, here's the commander, Leonard W. Murray, looking resplendent in his jacket there. Base trait gives you a little more hit points and a little more speed. Again, he is a base commander. Burn it down XXL. Look at me now. Velocious. Smoke on the water. Don't have any legendary skill yet. And Swirsky and Bay. And I suppose I could jack that up, but I don't like to use green XP to do that, so make sure you look at that before you do that, folks. Anyway, that is a look at Leonard W. Murray and the Vampire. Hopefully they'll get some destroyer commanders out at some point, or if not, you'll be stuck with this guy. But it is a free ship. It is in the store tab, so I hope you get it. Thanks.